Hello, hello. Hello, dear students. All of you. Please, audio, video, everything is okay or not, so that we can start our session in a smooth way. So that we can start our hello. Hello, dear student. So please confirm like everything is okay or not, so that we will start our session in a smooth way. Hello, dear student. So please confirm like everything. Once again, very good morning to all of you. So, dear student, today we are going to discuss about 29th August, the Hindu newspaper analysis. So, dear student, first important question is how we can get this PDF. You can scan this QR code to download our application. In that application, there will be a section called Current Affair and Infographics, and within that, you'll find premium infographics. You can download it and join our infographics edition. You can reduce your 3 hour of newspaper reading just in 45 minutes. The time you have saved, you can donate, devote for optional study, GS study, and other thing. And you can also scan this. Here we are providing daily MCQ, mains question, and lot of study material, current affair material. We are also providing. You can also get these things. And dear student, those who are using iOS and iPad device, you can simply download the Class Plus application and use org code H PKRMEJ to get same benefit that is what available to our Android user. So चलिए start करते हैं. So first important news of the day. So US officials call the conflict in Ukraine is the Modi's war. So recently we have seen Donald Trump repeatedly accuse India is funding the war by purchasing oil from the Russia, and this is what Indian government is denying, and we are also denying because USA themselves also USA is also involved in the directly trade with the Russia also. But if you look into that, USA, European Union, they have themselves also involved in the trade with the Russia. So what is the point of criticizing India when they themselves are involved? So the Trump trade advisor accused India of arrogance and profiteering. So Democrats slammed that 25% sanction on India, noting that China is buy more Russian oil. The farmer call for renewed talk. So this is what they are saying. So while USA themselves are purchasing a lot of the resources or the trade, there is having a trade relation with the Russia. So why they are imposing sanctions? Second thing is, if you are imposing sanction, this China is the largest purchaser of the oil. So that should be sanction, and we are getting a lot of support from the democratic government. So as you know that India enjoy bipartisan support. Pre-test for census. So already you know that our census is going to conducted in 2027. So before implementation of the census on a full scale, so we are going to check what are the positive, negative, so everything about it. So pre test exercise for the population census 2027 to be conducted in October November by the Registrar General and Census Commissioner have informed the Directorate of Census Operation in the state. So there is a Directorate of Census DCO at the state level and General of so of that general and not. This is what at the national level. So at the national level, we have Register General and Census Commissioner DCO, Directorate of Census Operation. So in coordination with that, they are going to conduct. So pre-test is required to test efficacy of entire exercise. That before conducting a census at the or pan India or all India level, we have to test what are the positive, what are the negative. So then only we can it's implemented all over the listing. We are just house list and their amenities. Census is counting the population. So this is have to remember. This is the first digital census, and second one is the first to be enrolled. This is the first time in any census we are caste data regarding the scheduled tribe we have collected, but this census we are going to collect the caste of all the people. So the test will be evaluate the proposed question, data collection methodology, training effectiveness, logistics, printing process, and before doing big scale operation we want to know about challenges so that we can improve it. So DCO have been told to mobile app will be used for first time in the collection of data. So before what we are doing, we are collecting in a pen paper format, and later on we have to everything apply once we have published, once we have uploaded everything, so it will not take much time because everything is digitized. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next important article is the India and Canada name envoy signal end of diplomatic spat. So I think you know that there is a diplomatic crisis that has been developed between India and Canada after there is an allegation by the Canadian authority, Indian government involvement in killing of some of the pro-Khalistani leader in the Canada. On the other hand, India accused that the Canadian authority they are providing support to this pro-Khalistani separatist group in the Canada. So that is what led to the crisis, and we have pulled all our diplomats from the Canada. Canada also pulled all their diplomats. But recently we have seen the Canadian Prime Minister invited Prime Minister Narendra Modi for G7 summit that is held in Kananaski in Canada. So both leaders they meet and they have decided to upgrade their ties. So that is the reason we are step by step improving our ties and we are exchanging our envoy or the high. So killed during Operation Jammu Kashmir. So already I think you know that government is intensifying the operations to prevent any terrorist in this region. So that is what led to the killing of the terrorists. Some of our soldiers also died during this operation also. So dear student, you know that in 20 prelims to ends hardly 70. If you're starting answer writing, it is very difficult for you to clear this examination. So it is advisable to start practicing answer writing in this phase. So to start writing answer, you can join our essay answer writing program and our daily answer writing program. You can check article. So industrial growth jump to 4-month high. So our industrial growth is jumping to 4-month high. So this is what to 4-month high of 3.5% in July, driven by broad that is released by history of statistics program implementation. So we have to remember production that is released by saying that it's comprising of the IIT is 45%. Okay, so 1 second, I think something is there. Okay. So next important article, dear student, you can join our OPSC prelims test series. So price is very nominal, yet you'll get high quality test series. So Tamil Nadu export hit hard by the US tariff. This is what said by the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin. So already you know that USA is imposing 50% tariff on our textile. So and you know Tirupur is a half of 3,000 crore. The chief minister urged the central government for providing assistance and reform. So the chief minister M.K. Stalin said that decision of the UK to hike hard hit the India's textile sector. So Stalin reiterated his demand to the union government of immediately relief and structural reform. So what he's demanding? He's demanding that we need to provide relief. For example, you can provide income assistance, you can provide low cost loan. We also need to be reformed so that it will promote ease of doing business. So the trade impact of US tariff on the state rupees 3,000 crore of export. So impact of US tariff on the Tamil Nadu, including threat of layoff the export-oriented sector. He also urged union government to take immediate measure, including special financial packages, so that we can overcome it. So during COVID-19, I think we already know that the government has extended the emergency credit line guarantee scheme. That means those who are facing the distress of closure, those who are facing the distress of loss, so they can take the credit from the government at a very low rate and they will pay it. Okay, so next is it is also talking about correcting GST inverted topics, linking top case of finished product, we are charging very low taxes. So that is what led to the inverted duty structure. That means it is easy to import the complete garment rather than manufacturing and exporting that. That is what creating inverted duty structure. So CM is demanding that we need to correct that inverted duty structure. Okay. So also we need emergency credit line guarantee scheme. So also talking about we need to promote enhancing the remission of duty and taxes on the export product. That means whatever we are exporting, let's say we are exporting a garment, let's say 10,000 rupees. Let's say in that tax 10,000 rupees, 1,000 already tax is paid. So in that case, we'll have to ensure return of this money to the seller, so that our we should not export our taxes to the international market, so that it will reduce our cost of production. So that is the reason they are talking about remission of duty and taxes on extended product benefit to the 5%. Okay. So I think this is all about. So this is what very much important for you can say about the employment generation sector, like textile. This is what very much important for our export. This is what very much important for our international relationship also. How our relationship with US is driven by one failure of our relationship with US is because of the trade and commerce also. So judicial panel submit report of Sambhal violence to UPCM. So recently, I think that three-member judicial committee led by Allahabad High Court judges Devendra Kumar, Devendra Kumar, and report submitted 2014 Sambhal violence to the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister. So the violence started near to the Sahi Jama Masjid during archaeological survey of India monitor survey of mosque. 4 persons were killed and several injured in the classes. So the finding some of the finding that is being leaked found that according to the sources, report noted that demographic shift in the town with the Hindu population reportedly down to 15 to 20% from 40% in 1950. So that is what they are claiming. Okay? And opposition are saying that why you are disclosing the committee reports. Start with headline on stray dog after the Supreme Court directive. So this is what you can use in your examination. So Rajasthan recently they have provided the guideline how they are going to manage the street dog. This can follow. If any question regarding how street dog management can be prevented, guideline. Rajasthan became the first state in the country to enable detailed framework on the management of stray dog on guideline for civic body. So, court ruling pertaining to the control of stray canine population in national population region. That the Supreme Court given its order to how we are going to control the stray dog population in the Delhi capital region. So, department So here they have basically controlling about the animal birth control. So every ward and locality will designated feeding zone for stray dogs. So each and every area will have a designated area for the feeding of the stray dogs. So there they can be feed, and will establish and sterilization. We need to also ensure sterilization, vaccination, and deworming of all these dogs. So taken for capturing, treatment, and release of the dog. So urban local bodies required to submit compliance report within the 30 days. Next one is about the human handling. So no doubt, देखो, if you look into our compassionate aspect, so dogs are integral part of our society. So we have to treat them in a human way. So guideline ban the use of tongues, words, nose to capture the dog. So instead, we can use net or hand to capture the dog. Okay. So by trained personnel who should either, because these are animals, so we have to treat them with compassion. Just because they are depending on us, we cannot treat them in a bad way. So that is what the main intention. So next important article is, I think you already know that repeatedly so many people are dying or so many people are infected with amoeba disease. That is what called meningitis. I think you already know that Nigre filariasis. So Kerala reported another cases of amoebic encephalitis. So new cases of amoebic meningite encephalitis has been reported in the Kozhikode district of Kerala, taking number of infected person undergoing treatment to 9. So I think you already know that the amoeba species that is causing this disease, it is Nigre filariasis. This rare brain infection is caused by amoeba found in the contaminated water. A test conducted at the state public health lab that confirmed that they are basically found in the contaminated water, where water is stagnant, and there is a growth of the amoeba. Even some of the well, they also found that also. So while the health department has invoked the Kerala Public Health Act for launching preventive and control measure against the disease. So what kind of control measure they are taking? They are cleaning the local water bodies and well by using the chlorinated. They can use the chlorine. Chlorine is a good anti-infectant. It's going to kill all the microorganisms. So that is what they are using. Okay, so it is very important for treating the health issue, treating the infectious disease. So you can write about the social justice, GS1 also, GS2 also, okay, GS3 also. In ethics also you can write. So next is CM set deadline to clear the landfill orders, fast tracking of the waste to energy project. So I think of waste being piled over a period of time. So it's very difficult for to manage now. So because of that, rapidly it's spreading the environmental pollution. That is what led to the spread of disease also. So government is planning to take a lot of steps, to prevent this problem. So city produce around 11,300 metric tons of garbage daily, but can process only 7,300. So clearing hinge on the overcoming bottlenecks, scaling bio-mining, ensuring timely execution through close cooperation between agencies, say the Chief Minister of the Delhi. So they are planning to use some of the measure like bio mining. They are also used to plan to convert from waste to energy. So you can say waste to energy plant also. Here we will have to start waste. From that household, they have to segregate the waste into biodegradable, non-degradable, and different bin. And if we have to the waste that can be used, we have to use so that waste that need to dispose will reduce significantly. Can be a very good help of what or how we are going to control the plastic pollution or municipality waste pollution or the garbage that we are developing or generating each and every day in municipality. Okay, so this is a very good article. How our coal mining are affecting the people's lives. So this is what happened in the Odisha. So coal mining and village displacement in Odisha. So overview. So Odisha housing India's largest coal field in Onugul district. So faces massive displacement, issue over 348 village. So this article is talking about, on the one hand, while mining operation is rampant because we need coal to fuel our the you can say the energy thermal power plant to supply energy. But on the other hand, because of this, so local people are suffering a lot of problem. So that is what this article is talking about, you can study it so that you can write this fact, this data in your examination. So I think I have already given it, so please read it very carefully. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is beyond science fiction. So artificial womb and real progress of fertility treatment. So I think recently there is a article being published. There is some person are developing artificial womb, but later it is found that this is fake news. So according to report that surfaced on the internet last week, a Chinese farm announced plan to create world. So that means that robot can carry the baby, but it was fake news, and all major news outlet brought it because it is a fleshy and sci-fi headline, especially in a world where everything seems. It is quite the fake news is spread like the wildfire because everyone it's catch the attention and TRP rating. So later on it's found that it is not true. So possibility of sexless production and artificial womb could be enabled by cutting edge technology. No doubt, there is a book published. There is a book published where it is talking about virgin bath and womb bank. So possibility of sexless production and artificial womb could be enabled by cutting edge technology. So no doubt, maybe not today, maybe in future, there can be possibility of having children without having sex or artificial womb that can enable by the development of more advanced technology. It sounds like science fiction, but still remain in the realm of science fiction. Now we have seen that in different part of the world, the womb replacement, the treatment are happening. But if any woman is suffering from the any problem related to womb, so they are replacing with a new womb. They need to find a donor, and later on they are able to successfully give birth to the kids also, child also. So you can see all over the world there are so many successful womb transplantation happen. So as of now, artificial womb are being used mainly to nurture preterm baby. So if any baby birth before the before the duration, that is need to be stay within the mother's womb. In that case, we have to put that baby on the artificially womb. So that is what called preterm baby. The baby are placed in a bio bag and float in a liquid mimicking the amniotic fluid found in the natural wombs. An artificial placenta which is connected to the umbilical cords provide oxygen and nutrition. So in case babies are born before their duration, that is called preterm. So we have what currently developed, and artificial womb replacement treatment is also developed. So but not we have not yet developed any robot that can carry the baby. Okay. So this is a very good humor of expressing, the AI is talking about. I just need to know about women caring for white majority. So I think you already know that at present our 86% of our population are elderly. But by 2030, it is expected to be 16% of our populations to be elderly, and by 2050, around 20% of our population having age more than you can say about 20%. So I think you can draw a graph also in your examination. So try to, it's like percentage of elderly population year 2011 8.6, 2030 16%. It is our elderly population is going to boom very fast. But out of that elderly population, if you look in found in the elderly population, this is because women are having higher expectancy as compared to the male. So when women are at the higher age, so there is a lot of problem that is being faced by the women. So first one is about their care, health. So sometime when family are in poverty, so tends to ignore the care of the elderly. So that is what led to the silent suffering of our elderly. And second is our elderly is not care or develop properly, because after as the age progress of women, so there is after the menopause, so there is a declining in the bone density. So that is what led to the creation of the osteomyelitis or bone disorder. A lot of problem that is what faced by the women also. And in elderly time also, they are facing the depression, isolation, not taking care of it. So these are the issues. Apart from that, they are also dependency, they don't have income. So these data are already mentioned here very well. So please read it. You'll understand what kind of problem our elderly population facing. So here one thing you need to know about it. So at the if you look into sex composition of our elderly, you'll find more women are found on the age more than 65, 60 or 60. the cotton imports to be duty free till December 31. So I think you already know that this year our cotton production is quite low as compared to what is our demand. So to meet the demand and to prevent a rise of price to our cotton industry, government reduce the import duty on the cotton, so that our producer or our the industrialist, they can get huge amount of cotton at very low price. Okay? So this is the article, just read it. No need to go in detail. So Union Budget announced a mission for cotton productivity to facilitate significant improvement in the productivity and sustainability of the cotton farming. So that is what the mission. So we need to implement. If we can able to implement, that is going to be helpful in making India self-reliant in the cotton production. So dear student, tell me what is the India position in the cotton production? Whether it is the largest, second largest cotton production. So you need to know about the only to study about what are the so maybe our cotton sector is going to face stiff competition, because after 50% tariff by the USA, so our textile sector mostly we're exporting to USA, so we might face the threat of higher cost. So that is what creating trouble for Indian textile or cotton sector also. Tell dear student, let's see next article. So Murugappa Group CG semi open pilot line in Gujarat semiconductor facility. We are not concerned about this semiconductor mission. So is to make India a global hub to produce lots of semiconductor in India. So semiconductor packaging facility in Gujarat. So the farms 76 crore project finance 50% support from the union government in partnership with USA semiconductor major. So this is the first plant among the 10 clear under the 76,000 crore Indian semiconductor mission open pilot line. So government is implementing Indian semiconductor mission with 76,000 crore to make India a hub of manufacturing of the semiconductor sector in next few years. So next we should see that state-of-art plant pilot line will start producing chip very soon and will have a capacity to produce. If going to install such a high number of the plant, then only we can able to generate huge amount of semiconductors. That is what going to meet and prevent any such disruption that is happening. Either USA is blocking, China is blocking, anyone can threaten. So that is what create problem. Also, a lot of military hardware we are using all the chip that is being imported from the USA, China. So that is what create this strategic threat also. To overcome all these things, government have taken semiconductor in India under the mission Indian Semiconductor Mission. So the pilot line is used to make qualifying chip which send potential customer with full scale manufacturing start at the full capacity. Okay. So I think this is what important you need to know. No need to go in detail. So dear student, you can join our Dronacharya year-long mentorship program. So here you will get quality guidance at very low price. So why it is important? It is very important for our strategic, for our economy. There is a something called middle income trap. So what is middle income trap? Now India is the lower income, so we are getting competitive advantage into middle income category. So our cost of production will be high, so in that case we'll not get the benefit of low cost of production. So here we'll have to innovate the technologically, we have to innovate and make our cost of production low. For that, competitive in the global market. For that, we need to invest in our semiconductor and AI and other advanced technology. So Delhi Farm moves court against online gaming regulation law. So I think you already know that government recently passed a law to ban all the real money game. So that is what led to the closure of some of the online money games. So this farm, they're arguing that the online game. As per the Supreme Court, I think you all know that online game. Supreme Court online game is classified in two category: game of chance. Now it's okay. My voice is okay now. Now my voice is okay. So game of chance and game of skill. So game of chance mean just because. Okay, game of chance means log based game, but we need to promote the skilled based game. So this is what said by the Supreme Court, because if you look into 19(1)(g) of the Indian Constitution, to protect the occupation or skill. Court said right side the commerce but legitimacy activity protected under Article 19(1). But game chance we need to prevent, but this online regulation that is blanketly banning everything. So I think you already know that. So the game online gaming are categorized into two category. One is on the basis of skilled based game is protected under Article 19(1)(g), while on the other hand game on the basis of chance, that is what called lottery. So this is what not protected, so we need to cop. So on that basis, so a farm is going to challenge this law. So let's see how our court is giving their verdict. So, dear student, thanks for it. So, please keep informing me so that I'll correct it in timely manner. So, with 50% tariff in place, US trade deal not practical. So, this is what said by our officials. With overhang of additional tariff, it was not practical to have official level discussion. This is BTA package with USSL officials. So currently we have seen how Donald Trump is behaving, and USA administration, they are not taking care of the concern of India. And despite last 2 decades or 3 decades of good relationship, nurturing good relationship, we are facing the problem. So our officials are not in a way, they are not finding discussion is more productive or beneficial. So removal of the additional 25% tariff on India is not prerequisite for trade negotiations to resume between India and USA, but a trade deal would not be a highly placed source of the Ministry of Commerce. So this is what our Ministry of Commerce and Industry clearly stated, that to have negotiation, we need to reduce the tariff. You cannot have, on the one hand, you are going to impose 50% act very fast. That is what ministry said, that support for the exporter. While on the other hand, we need to provide support of our sector that is being impacted by this 50% tariff. So export bodies have subvention. What is interest subvention? Let's say if interest charge is 6% per annum, so government can pay 2% of this interest. So those who are the taking interest, they'll have to pay the 4%. So here we can say 2% of interest subvention scheme, ISS. The next is moratorium and credit support are considering. One main and government is working on way to address it. What do you mean by liquidity? So that means they need to have access to the liquid or cash, so that they can pay their salary, they can perform their day-to-day activities. Okay. So next important article is auto sales slide by 8%. Buyer defer purchasing with anticipating tax cut. So I think you already know that our Prime Minister during the independence speech mentioned that we are going to majority of expecting reduce. So that is the reason they are not buying, waiting. So that is what led to the slow sale of. So I think the sent remain as to Supreme Court just to be sworn in today. So are elevated to the Supreme Court from High Court despite the dissenting judgment given by the Justice Bibi Nagratha. So I think this is what we should not go in detail about what is inside, but what is the crux is that the way the collegium system is functioning. So that is what creating apprehension. That is what creating hurdle in the transparency. So that is what you can quote about despite the descending judgment, despite the dissent given by the Justice Nagratha, still they have proceeded and appoint this High Court judges to the Supreme Court judges. So that is what clear indication that we need to reform to bring more selection of our judiciary system also. So next important article is Mumbai and Vizag among the safest city for women. This is what published by Nari. Okay, Nari is about a report, annual report. Okay. So next important article is nearly 60% of the Manrega. So student, I think you already know about Manrega or Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. It aims to provide 100 manual works to unskilled labor, one worker per family. And 33% of work is reserved for the women. So these are the few feature of the Manrega. So in that it is found that total budget whatever they were allocated for entire year. So this is 60% of that is finished in just 5 months. So 40% of the budget we have to spend in next 7 months. So that is what they are saying. Okay. So if you look, I think this is what no need to go in detail. So this is very important because welfare of our people. So I think you already know that in rural area people are facing distress. So in that distress situation, Manrega act as an insurance. That is what helping all our poor peoples to meet their daily need. I think you know already in COVID time when people are migrated from urban area to their village. So in that time, Manrega is act like an insurance to provide income support to our farmer. So while we need to reform the Manrega, make it more productive by by providing skill training and create valuable or productive assets at the rural level, like irrigation, we can plant the tree. So there are a lot of things we need to synergize and we need to merge and make it more effective. So next is the water level begin to recede as Jammu Kashmir battle the flood impact. So I think you already know Uttarakhand, then Himachal Pradesh and Jammu Kashmir. So they are reeling under the flood conditions. And now the water is receding. I think you already know there is a severe flood happened in the Vaishno Devi also. So many people are died there. 40 people are around died. But now thing is that water level is receding and threat is coming down. So now government is on the full swing to provide relief, rescue, rehabilitation. And we have to learn all these things. Why such? No doubt have rain is very heavy, but problem is that because of unplanned construction, because of human activity, we have exaggerated the impact of this flood on the humans. So we have to understand, we have after each and every crisis we have to understand what gone wrong, why having such an impact. Then only you can find a sustainable solutions to this problem. So next is the school enrollment in 3 to 11 age group down by 25 lakhs. The information is provided by UDICE. So dear student, you have to remember about the UDICE, Unified District Wise Information on School Education Plus. So this is if you have to write anything mains about school education, school enrollment, number of school, you can use this name. So that is what give your data authentic data. Okay. The total enrollment in student age between 3 to 11 school across India encompassing Anganwadi, so dropped by 25 lakhs. So why this is dropping? Because if you look into our the total fertility rate, the number of children who are dying, it is below the 1.2.1, which is called this replacement level. So if less children are taking no less children are burning each and every year, so in that case less number of people student will also join the school. That is the problem. So UDICE plus said that 12.9 crore students enroll in foundational and preparatory stages, which declined to 11.84 crores. So why this is happening? Why people are declining? Because of falling the birth rate. So declining in the enrollment number may largely be attributed demographic shift with falling birth rate in primary school population. In addition to decline could be explained in terms of presence of children in pre-primary standalone private institution also. So some of the children are also migrating to the private schools also, except Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Meghalaya. So majority of the states, they are seen that their total fertility rate, a woman that can give birth throughout his entire life is less than 2.1. So it is around national average is 1.91. This is what given by National Family Health Survey. So that means if less number of children are taking bath each and every year, so enrollment is going to be reduced. So this is what the data it is given. So you can remember few data. That is what going to help to put forth your argument in the examination. If you are saying that we have achieved the universal enrollment, that we can talk of it. I think this data is very helpful for whenever you are talking about merger of the schools. So earlier we have created so many schools in different locality, but now less number of children are enrolling in the school. So it is not possible for economically viable to run this school. Rather, what we can do, let's say these are the few schools located in locality, we can merge this school on the basis of their proximity, and we can provide transportations to our children. So that if a single school established instead of three schools, we can strengthen the infrastructure. We can provide more teachers so that quality of classes, quality of teaching can be ensured. Okay, so this is what the argument whenever you are put forth about merger of the school, you need some data. So that is what is going to be helpful. So without data is like biased decision. If you are providing data while writing mains, so that means you are giving evidence-based policy making. So dear student, you can get our monthly current affair also. For that, you can download our application. From there, you will get it. So next important article is Security Agreement, Business Pact and Bullet Train Rights on the PM Japan Agenda. So I think you already know that there is a push back India relationship with the Western country, be that European Union or USA. So India is looking for diversifying its friendship or diversifying the trade basket. So definitely Japan is natural partner of India growth. Since independence, we have seen Japan is always put forth to help India, whatever may be the crisis. So recently, our Prime Minister is going to visit Japan for a 2-day visit, and after that, our Prime Minister will visit from there to China to attend the SCO summit. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi, is Japanese Prime Minister, will travel on a bullet train during his 2-day visit to Japan starting from the Friday. So Modi will visit, expand the scope of ambit of our economic and investment ties, advance cooperation in new emerging technology like AI and semiconductor. Japan is already leader in this technology, so that is what going to be helpful. So we'll hold much delay 15th annual summit and expected to upgrade our declaration on security cooperation, including defense hardware purchase. Now we can ensure that the direct purchase of Japanese equipment by Indian or Indian equipment by Japanese. I think you already know US2 amphibian aircraft. So that is what India is eyeing for purchase from the Japan for now few days. Japan can purchase some of the military hardware. We can procure the jet engine from the Japan also. Japan is already having the functional jet engine technology. They have also. So security cooperation, including defense hardware purchases, launching and economic security, including building resilient supply chain in areas such as critical minerals, artificial intelligence, increase Japan investment in a target about 68 billion. So recently we have seen how China blocked the supply of rare earth minerals and critical technology to India. So that is what create the trouble also. So if any chance there is a shortage of the critical minerals, other the critical technology, that is what going to create for India. So we can collaborate with Japan to make sure that this technology are developed in India, and India need a lot of investment to propel its economy. So to get that, 1 second, just a second. Hello, my voice is audible now? Hello. Hello. My voice is audible now? Okay, okay, yes. I'm really sorry. There is some disturbance. So चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So next is Next is about, while bilateral, both the countries, like, the Japanese Prime Minister and Prime Minister of India is also planning to hold the quadrilateral dialogue summit. Okay, so we are planning to have that also. While bilateral trade between India and Japan is relatively low, we are having hardly 22 billion. So Japan is fifth largest source of foreign direct investment. So a lot of investment are coming from the Japans to India. So with 43.2 billion cumulative investment up to December 2024. So till now, Japan invested around 43.2 billion. Why? Because Japanese economy, they are shrinking. Japanese economy interest rate is negative. That means if you are, let's say, if you are putting 10,000 rupees in the bank for 5 year, at the end of the 5 year, what you will get 9,900, 9,000 rupees, because you are losing money there. So that is the reason Japanese are quite interested to invest in India. At least their money will be grow. So that is the reason. So it's a good destination for their investment. I think the battery is low. So just a second, my battery. Just a second. Hello. I think my voice is audible. Hello. I think my voice is audible. So please confirm. So we'll start. Don't worry. Hello. I think my voice is audible. चलिए हम आगे बढ़ते हैं. So please adjust. So some issue are there. So next is our Prime Minister is also going to have interaction with the diaspora also. So in that interaction, our Prime Minister will discuss about the problem they are facing, and we are going to find the solution. So next is, I think you already know, Japan is investing in India's high-speed bullet train project. So this bullet train that is going to connect from Mumbai to Mumbai to Ahmedabad. So that is what we are also discussing. Modi will arrive the Tokyo on Friday morning. Modi will also expected to meet with some of the member of Indian diaspora, that numbering around 54,000. So you know that already there are 54,000 people are of Indian origin are in the Japan. So they are acting like, brand ambassador of Indian culture. So they are promoting. So India Japan summit two side will be release a joint statement as well as vision for 2035. So you already know that we are good partners. So we are looking forward to have this development partner by 2035. So we are going to have that vision, how we are going to develop by 2035 to upgrade the vision statement announced by the Modi ji. So Mr. Modi and Japanese Prime Minister, they'll visit the Japanese Shinkane high-speed railway. So this railway is also going to be implemented in our the Mumbai to Ahmedabad track. So already India is developing the 508-kilometer Mumbai to Ahmedabad Shinkane project launched in 2017 by with Japanese funding. Japan has been India's largest overseas developmental art since 1958. So you have to remember, whenever you are talking about international relation, how Japan is significant to the India, you can talk about 1958. Japan is providing significant art to India. So total art, I think you already given here. It is, yes, it is about 43 point total investment, and art means without any repayment. And in the Shinkan railway, it is already committed to provide 17 billions of investment in India also. Okay. So just remember and note down this fact figure. So that is going to be helpful for your mains answer writing. So dear student, you can download our applications to get a lot of free test series available there. You can explore that as well. So India, Canada signals end of their diplomatic war. So appointment of new high commissioner reflect Canada and India. They are taking step by step approach to ease their difficulty relationship and maintain a good relationship. So dear student, please comment in the comment box whether it is helpful, how our discussion daily newspaper analysis is helpful to all of you. whether you want any change, like timing, anything. So please comment and interact with me so that I can have fair amount of idea. Your feedback is very important for all this decision. चलिए, so आगे बढ़ते हैं. So this appointment is an important development towards restoring the service of Canadian while strengthening the bilateral relationship to support Canadian economy. So India and Canada agreed to tit for tat diplomatic spat after the relationship deteriorated post acquisition by the Canadian authority that Indian authority are involved in the killing of some of the Khalistan people, and India accused that Canada providing shelter and support to the Canadian or Indian the separatist group Khalistani members. So next important article is pre-test for the census 2077 to be done in October, November. So the self-enumeration digital mapping tool and web-based portal for real-time monitoring and management will soon be tried out by DCO were informed. So before implementing the census digital format all over the India, what at this moment we are doing, we are testing everything at the field level to know whether everything is going on or not, what kind of problem we are facing. And our census supposed to be conducted in 2021 after 10 year after the 2011, but because of COVID-19 it is not able to implement it, so we have shifted later on, and now it is decided to conduct in 2027. Why 2027? I think you already know that after 2026 there will be change in the number of seats that is being allocated to different states. So I think there might be some political agenda of starting or making the census after 2027. So what is the point of doing that? You can do before that also. They are doing having some political agenda also. The exercise including question on the household amenities from the first phase and queries for the national population registry and population enumeration from the second phase, tested in successive August 12 to 30. So unlike the previous instances, however, this year the pre-test time only cover pre-question first phase. So no need to go about all these things. So union government informing the parliament they are not in plan to start national population registry. So they have clearly stated, union government, they are not planning to have national population registry on this census. So national population registry is first step for creation of national register of citizen, NRC. So according to the citizenship rule under the Citizenship Act. So if you look into Citizenship Act, there is a citizenship rule that is what provide the state government, the union government can have the national registry of citizen by having the national population registry. This is what you need to know about it. So next is India flag denial and delay by Bangladeshi in accepting undocumented migrants. So I think you already know that so many people or migrant people from Bangladesh, they are entering into the Indian side, and that is the reason it is creating perennial tension between India and Bangladesh. So India is also planning to establish the fence along the border area. I think you already know that Bangladesh is having largest border area with the India. So dear student, tell me in the comment box the descending order of India's having border with its neighboring country. So which country is having the largest border, second, third, fourth, fifth? So please tell me in the comment box. I'm just giving four country: China, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and Nepal. So arrange them on the descending order. So the BSF, Border Security Force, have flagged the denial and delay by the border guarding force of Bangladesh, accepting the apprehending illegal Bangladeshi entering along the eastern border. 3 days conference that is being held in the Director General level in the Dhaka. So Bangladeshi forces is not accepting any such thing. Rather, they are saying that Indian forces they are pushing back, or they are pushing back all these those who are accusing of that these are Bangladeshi people. So that is what creating the tension. So you can see the Bangladeshi border guarding force raised concern on the pushback of undocumented Bangladeshi migrant and Myanmar nationally, and even the Indian along the border, saying that nearly 2,500 people have been pushed into the country. So post Pahalgam attack, I think you already know that government issued directions to identification of all Bangladeshi and people from the other country, and then it to be sent back. So that is what the issue is all about. So next important news is 17 dead, a portion of the illegal four-story building collapse in Maharashtra. So I think this kind of incident repeatedly happened because of profiteering nature of builders. So they are simply profiteering from all this activity. 17 people, including 1-year-old girl, die after a portion of illegally four-story apartment collapse early on the Wednesday. So in Maharashtra. So I think we need to prevent all these kind of things by promoting some proper building code and proper check. We can also have safety audit so that we can prevent such kind of loss of our life, precious human life. So next important article is both nations are must jointly ensure peace. This is what said by the China. So I think recently you have seen there is an improving in relationship between India and China on multiple issues. So China and India must jointly safeguard peace, tranquility in the border area after report positive and constructive dialogue that has been happened between the two sides. So I think you already know that there has been a high level meeting cooperations to improve our relationship. So this is a good thing. We need to push forward. So governor cannot act as a super CM. Tamil Nadu tells the Supreme Court. So I think you already know that. So there is a presidential reference going on whether Supreme Court can specify a time limit when original constitution does not provide any time limit for governor to act. So that on that issue the controversy is going on, and the Tamil Nadu government is saying that whenever any bill is passed by the elected government, so simply without having any powers, the governor cannot block, just like the super CM. So the governor should not have the veto over the bill passed by the the state legislature. On the other hand, each center is saying that governor is given the power, unlimited power to block bill because they are the role of protection of the constitution. So let's see how the court is how the case is evolving. So I think the article here involved is article 200, that is what giving power of the president to give assent to a bills. Article 143 is talking about presidential reference. Here one more article is involved, that is article 32. Here state are saying that their fundamental right are being violated, but here the center is saying that the fundamental right is applicable only to the citizen, not to the state. So these are few issues. So we are going to see in future also why USA is ending duty-free import of low-value goods. So I think you all know that after Donald Trump coming into power, imposing so many sanction, irrational behavior, so that is what led to the disruption of the world level. So postal and carrier service worldwide has been bracing for the disruption as USA eliminate duty-free import of low-value goods, affecting shipment merchandise such as textile, toys, cosmetics, electronic accessories, impacting e-commerce platform like Temu, so other like that. So action signal that basic pillar of post-war world order exemplified by the World Trade Organization are being systematically undermined, and sovereign nations struggle to coordinate response to these unilateral trade measures. So this international institution that is being propagated by the USA post World War, that has been helped to USA to emerge as a superpower. Now they are misusing that. US is now imposing unilateral sanctions to get trade concession from all these countries. So this is what we need to learn, and we need to overcome it also. So which sector are most affected by the tariff? So recently, I think you already know that USA imposed 50% of tariff on the Indian export. So that is what led to the lot of sector that is going to be impacted. So we are going to see it. So first, if you look into the intensity of any sector that is going to be impacted is directly related to how much we are depend on this USA for this export. The more we are exporting to the USA, so more it is the sector is going to be impacted. So if you look into data from the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, you'll find India exported 2.4 billions of shrimp. Shrimp, I think it's a fish to the USA, making 32% of its total shrimp export. So that is what going to be impacted, because earlier it was imposed 10% of countervailing duty, now 10 plus 50. So now it is 60% tariff. So it is going to be impact because it is quite costly for India to export, or it's quite costly for USA customer to import the shrimp from the India rather than importing from other regions. So the state, that is Andhra Pradesh, is going to be impacted. Okay. Next, if you look into India exported gems and jewelry, so 10 billions of gems and jewelry, and majorly diamonds. So USA is having craze for the diamond, just like the Indian is having craze for the gold. So that is what also impact. So one of the worst hit sector to be textile and apparel export. So textile and apparel, so majority we are exporting to USA. So they are also going to be face a problem. And Tirupur, I think we already known in Tamil Nadu. So they are known for the export of all these garments, so they are also going to a lot of problem, for example job loss, so there might be layoff also. India exported 1.2 worth of carpets to the USA also. Carpet and handicraft sector is going to be impacted also. So other significant affected sector including handicraft, leather, shoes. Okay, so just read it, you'll understand. So next is about organic chemicals. So we have exported a lot of organic chemicals. So that is what helpful. So this can be a prelims question, mains question, how the trade is going to be impact Indian relationship. If you know all these things, then you can write a very good answer. So this is made of 13.2% of total export. So the sector 50% import tariff. Okay. So India export 47% worth of steel, aluminum. So that is what going to be impacted also. Okay. So his government is planning to help the sector. Yes, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other our minister, they are planning to go for Swadeshi. So that is the reason we are reforming our GST, reducing taxes on the GST to create domestic demand. And in long to medium term, we are also diversifying our basket. For example, we are exploring more free trade agreement. We are reaching out to the Japan. We are reaching out to the Australia. We are also signing more free trade agreement so that we will reduce our dependence on any particular country to prevent any such instances. Okay, dear student, so please read it, you'll understand a lot. So dear student, we are also providing current affairs summary of all the news of the day, that is the Hindu, Indian Express and all the newspaper. You can scan it to get it. Okay. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. So dear student, currently OPSC interview program is going on. We are providing complete guidance for the OPSC. So to get the guidance, you can scan this QR code to join our OPSC guidance interview guidance program. चलिए, so next is, should state be compensated for revenue loss of the GST reform? So I think you already know that our Prime Minister during the independence speech announced that we need to reform our GST to make it very simplified person. Now a lot of tax being imposed, 5% tax, then 12%, 18%, 28%. Government is planned to replace all these taxes with two rate, 5% and another 81. Then next is 40%. So majority of the good will fall in the 5 to 18%. So so that is what help in reducing cost of anything like toothpaste, biscuit, so that it is going to be helpful to our consumer, helpful to our citizens. But problem is that state are demanding that if there is a reduction in the taxes, so they might face the losses. So there are argument that no doubt we are going to face temporary losses, but in long term, this because of extra demand, extra consumption, so state revenue is going to be increased. So if you know about Laffer curve, so as the tax rate will make optimum tax rate, so maximum revenue collection will be happen. That is what it is arguing. But for initial few years, so we need to compensate state. We need to make state into confident so that they will onboard and implement this reform. So next is building health of 1.4 billion Indians. So I think if you look into our investment, our quality of healthcare, you will find that it is not much encouraging. We are hardly spending around 1.4% of our GDP in healthcare, and there is doctor are skewed. Like most of our doctor, they are stationing in the urban area. Urban area, 33 population residing, but 75% of our doctor in the urban area. That means 75% doctor are chasing few patient, while through third of their population living in the rural area only around 33% of doctors. So there is a skewed distribution of doctor. Infrastructure is lacking. So that is the reason. So we need to explore alternative methods of increasing our healthcare reach. So one of them is by using the insurance. So no doubt insurance is helpful to increasing reach out of our medical healthcare. So one of the government scheme that is being implemented is called Pradhan Mantri, that is Ayushman Bharat Jan Arogya Yojana, PM Joy. So it is aims to provide 5 lakh insurance cover to the 50,000 people for year. So no doubt it is helping in reducing the cost of treatment also. So one thing, this PM Joy, PM Joy, it is providing treatment to the middle class and rich people already having the insurance. So that is what led to the missing middle class. So we need to provide insurance treatment to this middle and missing class, so that entire people will be covered with the insurance. But insurance is not the sole factor that is going to be helpful. Along with that insurance, we need to invest in our healthcare sector as well. Okay. So this article is all about that. Okay. So the India's demographic dividend at as a time bomb. So I think you already know that about I think 80 crore people are having age below the 35 years. So that means our young people, if we can tap or capture that utility, so we can be a developed country. But problem is that there is a disconnect. What is the industry demand and what kind of skill our population is having? So now our industry is driven by AI, driven by advanced technology, but our curriculum is driven by old traditional things. So that is what the main reason for most of the graduate, they are not able to employed in the industry. So what we can do, we can use this as an opportunity to upskill our workers to enable them in the modern technology. So government have taken so many schemes to provide skilling. For example, Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, then apprenticeship schemes, Sankalp scheme. So these are the few initiatives we have taken, but we need to make systematically arrangement. We need to ensure that national education policy should be in sync so that we can provide, we can tap the potential of our youth to make India as a developed country. So next is here it is talking about recently the allegation against the Election Commission of India by the opposition, and there is a lot of rallies going on. So I think this is a high time Election Commission, instead of running our responsibility and threatening anyone, it should be come out clean, and everything should be public, put in public, and bring transparency, so people will have faith. So and all the SIR that is being going to conduct in future also, it should be very clean also. So deja vu. So India must cut the monsoon vulnerability, not just build response capability. So that means there is a very good quote: "Prevention is better than cure." So that is what we need to have in case of disaster. So recently we have seen so many disasters happening in different Himalaya, Jammu Kashmir, Uttarakhand. So what kind of step we can take? We can prevent, we can predict, we can understand, and we can take the mitigation measures so that we can prevent the loss of life, loss of property, and loss of environment also. So this article is that only. So in Himalaya, these are very biological fragile regions. So any kind of development there is going to have severe implications. So we have to be very careful. We have to be all our development should be environmental sustainable. So this article is talking about that only. So dear student, this is all about the 29th August, the Hindu newspaper analysis. So dear student, please read this newspaper so you'll understand better. And dear student, we'll have to end here. If you like this video, please like, subscribe to our channel, and please do share this channel with your friends so that more number of students can benefit. And if you have any suggestion, please write in the comment box. Chaliye, bye bye. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.